Dear Diary, today I took the first step in becoming an ADHD coach. I can't actually quite believe it. I want to learn, grow, and build something extraordinary. I think this journey will be the Indigo Diaries. Dear Diary, welcome world to the Indigo Diaries, and welcome to our exciting new series, Series 2, The World Through a Trainee's Coach's Eyes. And that coaching training is me, Tasha Hickling. The Indigo Diaries is a podcast for those who want to learn about ADHD through others' experiences. So welcome back, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Indigo podcast. And this is very, very exciting. I'm really excited. I started my new course this week, and I'm really excited to get moving and to really get into this ADHD life coaching and what it is and things. If you weren't here last week, then part 2 is basically a step-to-step thing about ADHD life coaching, and we talk about the different aspects of it, what it is, what it's not, compare it to other professions, is it right for you, some questions to think about. This is really about giving you the information that you need about ADHD life coaching. So these episodes will be a little bit shorter because they're real fact, to the point, and with a little bit, obviously, my verbal processing and a little bit about me and things, but really want to get them short, sharp episodes. So today we're going to kind of look at what life coaching is compared to what an ADHD life coach is, compared to what ADHD life coaching is not. Okay. So the International Coaching Federation, which is the main accrediting body for coaching, defines coaching as partnership with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. The process of coaching often unlocks previously untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership. And the philosophy that every client is creative, resourceful, and whole. And I've put a link below to the ICF and their definition of what coaching is. And that's basically a real good definition of what it actually is. It's about a process where you partner with a coach, you unlock things inside of you to help you lead your life. And the philosophy that every client is resourceful, creative, and whole is I just love that. I think it doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, that every person is those 3 things. And it is so true. And we don't really realize that everyone is creative, resourceful, and whole. And the word that it screams out for me is self-discovery. Okay, that self-discovery of discovering who you are. It's a journey. Life coaching is a journey. It's not, okay, here, someone's going to tell me how to do it. It's a journey between you and somebody else, but for you as a client. A client is, the person that's coming for coaching, and the coach is there for you. It's your own self-discovery, not your coach's. So what's the difference between that and ADHD life coaching? Okay, so the Professional Association of ADHD Coaches, called PAAC, they say their definition of coaching is ADHD coaching is a special skill set that empowers clients to manage their ADHD challenges like impulsivity, hyperactivity, and inattentiveness. And I like that as well. But I don't think, for me personally, I don't think that ADHD life coaching is just that. It's basically a combination of both. It's a self-journey of discovery, locking untapped sources of imagination, productivity, and leadership, but looking at it through the lens of ADHD. And it really is specializing in ADHD. ADHD impacts so many different parts of our lives, more than we could ever think. And that ADHD life coaching is life coaching with an ADHD focus. And it's not just looking at ADHD, it's looking at your life, but how ADHD impacts that, and really understanding those unique challenges. They asked us to describe what coaching is, what ADHD life coaching is for us. And I really like analogies. Okay, so I'm going to use the analogy of a lighthouse, which is actually on my website, and I've posted my comic below of my lighthouse. I see it as a stormy night. You're on a boat. You are on a boat. The waves are crashing up and down, and all you want to do is get to shore. You want to get to that land. On the land, there's a lighthouse. The lighthouse is shining the light. On the boat is you and who you are, your strengths, your resources, that creative whole and resourcefulness are all on that boat. But you cannot see that because of these crashing waves, which could be your ADHD challenges, which could be your life challenges, it could be changes, it could be so many different things. And you can't see the land where you want to get to because you're crashing and crashing and crashing. More waves come over, more water. You can't see what's on the boat because you're panicking about the waves that are in front of you. You see that light. The boat and the light need to work together to help that boat get to land safely. That lighthouse is coaching, is the coach. The boat is the client. In order for the client to get where they want to get to, despite the crashing waves, the challenges, the ADHD challenges, they've got to use what they have in themselves, their creative, their whole, and their resources on their boat. They've got to use who they are, what they know, all these different things to get them to land. But they can't quite see that because of the crashing waves. So that's why that lighthouse is there. It's all about self-awareness. And, it's an understanding of your ADHD, which are those waves, understanding of your life to get to where you want to get to. But rather than just going over wave, it's looking at who you are to be able to get you to the shore. And sometimes we just need that bit of light to partner us, to help us to get to that land. And that's what ADHD life coaching for me is. ADHD life coaching is the light in those stormy nights in your life. It's that light that gets you there. And it does have an ADHD focus, but it's not just about ADHD. Yes, ADHD is a huge impact on our daily lives, but there are other aspects as well. So it's looking at the life, the ADHD, partnering to get clients to where they want to get to. And that, for me, means looking at yourself, what's on your boat, and what can you use to get there. As a lighthouse, they can't do it for you. They're not on the boat with you. But they can partner with you to get you there. And that's what it is, unleashing your potential to live the life, to get to where you want to get to with who you are. And for me, that's what ADHD life coaching is. If you like analogies, then you'll like that. If not, then, well, that's my verbal processing. Join us after the break when we're going to talk about what ADHD coaching is not. And we're out. If you would like any more information on Indigo Hub or our Indigo support group, then please check out our website below or our link to our social media platforms, or email at indigohub.adhd@gmail.com. If you would like to offer any comments, feedback, get support, or if you're interested in the world hearing your story,
then please reach out through any of our avenues. As said before, have a positive week. Check in again later. And we're out.
Shh, the Indigo Diaries. And we're back. Before the break, we were talking about what ADHD coaching was, and I shared with you my analogy of ADHD life coaching. And there is a lot more to it than that, okay? There is a lot more to it. It looks at all these different things, but that's basically the overall of what a coach is. A coach evokes your self-awareness. They partner with you to get you to where you want to get to. With ADHD, it's just somebody that has that special lens of what ADHD is and the challenges that it has and that presents itself. And there's a lot more to it than that, and we'll get into that as this part 2 comes along. We're going to get into what the process of coaching, evoking questions, and so on and so on. But that was the general overview. So what ADHD coaching is not. So I find online, there's many misconceptions and wrong information about what a life coach and ADHD life coach is. It's not therapy. It's not training. It's not teaching. It's not managing. And it's not consulting. ADHD life coaches do not diagnose you. They don't tutor you. They don't counsel you. It is a very, very different focus. They don't just look at what's right in front of you, what's here, what's there. There's no quick fixes. And we don't want to be fixed. They look at who you are, where you are, and where you want to get to. And there's no one size fits all. Every coach has their own expertise. Of course, we all have our own expertise, but a coach is not an expert. They're not going to tell you what to do or exactly. They can bring their knowledge to you to help you where you are, but they're not going to tell you exactly where to go. They're going to help you and partner with you to help you realize it yourself. And it really is about seeing the unique person that you are in order to get to where you want to get to. And that's the big key for me is the who. They don't just look at what you're doing. They look at who you are. I always say this. It's one of my favorite sayings. We're not human doings. We're human beings. They look at you as creative, whole, and resourceful. What have you got? Who are you? And they look at you as whole. And the biggest difference between ADHD coaching and a lot of other things is the conversation, the type of conversation it is, the evokingness of it. The relationship is not, the coach is the expert, the client's not. It's not the coaching leading. It's the client that leads it. And the environment is what makes it so different, how it presents itself. And we're going to get more into this as we go in week by week. But I just want you to know that it is very, very different field to therapy, and especially to teaching and managing. It is very, very different. And many coaches do it very different styles, which we're also going to explore during this. But I just kind of wanted you to know the overview of what coaching is and what it's not. And if you're thinking, I want to know more, we're going to come back for that. And I just want to add one more thing in. I told you this is very short. I'm actually keeping on time. I'm quite impressed with myself. That some people may not want a coach. You may think this and go, partnering? No, not interested. Not quick fix? No, not interested. But I need to do this. I want to do this. I need someone to tell me how to do it. And we may all think that we might not want a coach or we may not need a coach. But come explore with me, because you never know. You never know. I could say something and you might go, wow, a coach, that's what I need. That's what I want. That's what I've been looking for. Don't knock until you try it. And obviously, I also want to say that this is from my perception of what I'm learning and what I'm going through as myself. Many people have different views, and not my way or whoever's way is the right way. But in all, ADHD coaching, life coaching is very different to the other places. It's very different to other professions. And next week, we're going to explore that even more. Next week, we're going to talk about how ADHD life coaching is different from other professions, how it's different from therapy, training, teaching, managing, and consulting. And we're really going to dive deep into the specific things that are different. So I hope you've enjoyed my little snippet about what ADHD coaching is and what it's not. And below, I've put all the references that I've mentioned today. And I really hope that you come back next week and listen with me. So my encouragement of today is admitting that you do not know something is the first step to learning. And I really think that's huge. In order to learn, we have to be that number one thing, curious. Are you curious about ADHD life coaching? Then join me next week, where we're going to go even more into depth into this learning. We're going to take more and more steps. If you've listened to this whole episode today, then you've took that first step. I hope that next week you come, learn, listen, and experience the world through the eyes of a coach and training. Why not? Have an amazing week, everyone. And you never know what's right in front of you. Open your eyes, be curious. What have you got to lose? And we're out.
Dear Diary, as the training process goes on, it makes me stop and wonder, could there be more for us? More light, more possibilities, and a place where we can truly be ourselves? I think this journey will be...